This is the first time I've shot video on an iPhone for a very, very long time, but just say part one of the day's done, haircut's done. I've just phoned Wex Photography at Putney and they are top guys. They just had a word and yes, they're going to do it. So you'll catch me next at Putney, and if I can possibly film them doing it, trust me, I will. So I'm leaving Windsor now, heading over to Putney, and I'll follow up with the rest of the video from there, I guess. I'll do the main vlog when I get back to the studio, but over here at Wex, it's been brilliant. The crew here have been fantastic. And I'm like a kid in a candy store. There are cameras as far as you can see. The kit in here is just amazing. I've given you a bit of an idea in the B-roll. The shop's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, actually. And it's just, it's going to be my local, I can tell that. They've got second-hand used cannons there that I showed you. They've got brand new cannons. It's honestly putting temptation in my way. I cannot afford to buy anything at the moment, but I am going to be back here. They've cleaned the sensor. Hopefully now the colour will look even better. I haven't got any kind of filters on here at all at the moment. This isn't shooting naturally, but apparently there were a couple of big marks on the sensor. I wasn't able to film it being clean, but it's apparently use a little dab stick thing with some particular sensor cleaning fluid on that evaporates it and dries in the air, but it's a specialist job, so I won't ever be trying it myself. But this place really is something special. I think the rest of the day I'm going to go back now probably to the studio and write. But I just wanted to bring you into Wex here over in Putney. Brilliant shop, really lovely crowd, and this is all part of going out at these expos, because I met the guy here when I was at MPTS the other week, and he said come to our store, and they've been super friendly, lovely bunch. I've got to do a review for them online as well, which I'll certainly do because they've been so helpful. But yeah, I mean, look at that store behind me, all cameras as far as you can see. It does the heart good, it really does. Right, I will speak to you and finish the vlog up back at Jersey. So I kind of feel that you've been with me all day today. We started out in Windsor, and you remember earlier in the week I had this issue that the guy, the only weak link with Wex Putney was the guy I spoke to during the week, who was less than helpful and suggested very much that it's not something they do, they need 48 hours to do it. But once I phoned him today, the guy that I saw, Alessandro, was the guy I saw MPTS. He was there. He'd just arrived and I'd got out the hairdresser. It was perfect timing. He said, yeah, absolutely, drive over. It took me about 45 minutes to get there. And they were brilliant. They were such a lovely bunch of guys. And I was in nerd heaven, honestly. It was just nirvana. Hopefully, from the B-roll that I'm going to drop on top of this vlog, you'll see it was the size of the store. I thought it was going to be a really small little store with just one counter and a few lenses behind them. It was massive. It was really big. The parking was easy. I was mindful I didn't want to get a ticket, so I stayed there for no longer than an hour. And there was a confusion at the coffee shop I went. So while he was doing it, he only took half an hour to do it. And I've given him a full review on Google. They said if you scan it, he gets a couple of quid out of it. Apparently he gets a bit of a bonus. And they were genuinely helpful. And I don't mind talking well with somebody when they've been that helpful and that good. They were just brilliant to deal with. I will be going back 100%. Whenever I buy any gear, I won't buy it online. And even if I do order it online from Wex, I'll go to Putney to pick it up. It's just nice to build that relationship with somebody. I feel it will be my local store. And look at the lenses they had there and the camera bodies they had there, used and new. I tell you what, with money, I'd be a dangerous person. So that was clearly the highlight of the day. It's not until I get to take photos. It was particularly, he said there was a couple of really bad marks on it, and I know what it is. It's because I'm out so often, and it's been obviously in rainy weather. I mean, I'll be even more careful now to make sure that I keep the lens cover on as much as possible. And I said to him, is it the case that if I ever were to touch that sensor, that's game over? He said, no, it's not. Clearly it's not something you suggest, you do, but it's not game over. And equally, he said he went once to pick up a camera and there wasn't a lens cap on it. He just went and picked it up and his finger briefly went on the sensor. But it's like all these things, it's knowing how to do it. It sounds a very simple procedure. It's just a couple of drops. So I think it's almost like an earbud kind of thing. You dip into this fluid and it's a very, I'm imagining, sort of some alcohol based because it evaporates in the air, and it's just a couple of wipes apparently, and that's it. And people make the mistake of trying to put, siren's about to go past us, too much on there, and that's why I didn't want to do it myself. It only cost me £35. The police are hurrying off somewhere, which I think, apparently I think it's 55 for a full sensor and 35 for a crop sensor. But yeah, I honestly, it was such a lovely place to be. What I was saying was I won't know until I take photos. I always saw there was a perfectly round mark as I looked at the photos on the screen, top left, And that was I always had to use an eraser in Lightroom to get rid of it. So it'd be nice not to have that anymore. I'm going to take even more care now to keep that sensor as covered as I possibly can. But drive back was really good, and then since then I've just come back and I've written. It's funny, I got in last night, and as I came through the front door, I could hear my voice on the TV, and the other half was watching my vlog. Turns out the other half watches my vlog to find out what I've been doing in my day. I mean, you could argue, you could just ask me, but there again, hey, I'll take it. But yeah, it has been, that's the beauty of what we do here though. It's just running on day by day by day, and it's just, as I've said to you many times, I think my life and days are really boring. But if you're happy enough to watch somebody doing boring stuff, then I'm happy enough to sit and record me doing boring stuff, put it that way. And today I came back here and I've written, it's not the best story if I'm honest with you, it's a little bit of a filler story. I've kind of done it about the honour experience that I had and what that was like, and the whole being involved with a loan review unit and how it works and blah, 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 blah. And very much the first write on a weekend is very much that. Then by the time I begin to go through it, and you know, every time I read it, I generally either take a couple of words out, add a paragraph in, and it just begins to come to life. I think it'd be okay by the time it's finished. The iPod Short has done remarkably badly, which I'm sort of surprised about. I think it might pick up. I've got a feeling that might pick up. And the iPod Video is more or less done. I've only got to put a couple of finishing touches to it now, and that's kind of ready to go. Do you remember I spoke to you about this creator called Gabe something or other? I think he's got a main channel that he's very happy to flex about his 800,000 subs and some, but then he's got this other channel. Sorry, there is a hospital literally a mile away. That's why I get sirens screaming past all the time. So, but equally, it's gone over 30 degrees up there today. So I think during the last few summers, when it's been hot, I've tried to record up there, and of course I have to sit as still as possible and close the windows as late as possible, and you still end up with a shirt that's just wet. So I think this year, on the times that I do have to record here, I'm going to sit out here. The Short was done out here, and it doesn't look too bad, and it's an okay place to record, isn't it? I can be creative with the angles. This is quite a nice angle I've got going on today. It looks a little bit dark on the monitor, but I'm going by the EV meter, and it says it's about right. And also I'm shooting in logs, so I can always just brighten it up easily enough afterwards. So I'm not going to spend too much longer here today. I am going to be working most days over the weekend, I think, but shorter days. I do need to give myself a break. As much as I'm desperate to earn money and turn content out, I also need to keep myself, as I was saying yesterday, just kind of fresh and enjoying what I do. So this is going to be the last thing I do. It's going to be a bit of a different vlog, because I've actually got different sections to throw in for you. There was the bit at Windsor, the bit in the store itself when it had just been done, showing you around the shop, and of course I was able to use my gimbal, which makes me very, very happy indeed. Rest of the weekend, I'm not so sure. What I need to do is get into looking at the briefs from both Wondershare and from Ugreen. The Ugreen one I'm really interested to get into, because you know the love of my NAS right now. And I used it again yesterday. I think I told you about this printer that I used, wanted to try his new large format printer and asked me to send photos over. I put those on the NAS, sent them a link, and it works. It works really, really well. I'm loving NAS life. I truly am. That's one of my new toys. I haven't added any albums today because I didn't get a chance to take any album up if I left. I can do that from home tomorrow. So I'm not sure if I'm in here tomorrow or working from home tomorrow. I haven't yet decided. I kind of think if I do the Ugreen video, I need to be in here because I need to unpack it and put the drives in, but I need to read the briefs. So maybe tomorrow morning over coffee I'll read the briefs. And also with the Wondershare one, I've kind of got half the video made maybe from before. I know it's a new version, so it might be I just need to tweak odd parts of it if I'm very lucky. And the other one, their first one, it's easily going to hit 10,000. It'll probably hit 10,000 by the end of the weekend. I have got a sneaking suspicion it's because of what the subject was. And of course it was showing you how to get into an iPhone. And funny enough, when I was at the hairdresser this morning, Joe, her other half, he was saying, oh, I had this phone and we couldn't get into it, and it's because of Apple you can't. But I said, you can get into it. I can absolutely tell you you can get into it. So people still have this notion that you can't break into an iPhone, whereas of course I proved that you can. So maybe that's in the course of time will end up being one of my most popular videos. Oh, what I'll do for money. But their second video is about data recovery, which is more legitimate. And so again, I will try to boost that as well when it comes along, as I explained yesterday, as much as anything because of sponsors looking at the channel and seeing how the channel is generally performing. So I have put £100 into the in-air video. £100 isn't a lot in the scheme of things. There was another creator that I used to have ties with right back at the very beginning of when I was doing this. And I saw a video that they put up this week with, I think it was a ridiculous amount of views. I want to say, I think I'm right in saying it was about 200,000 views with 20 comments. I will let you draw, no, sorry, that's unfair. It was 200 comments. It was on the cusp, but it still didn't quite ring true to me. And it wasn't even on a subject that was particularly click friendly. So I don't know. All I know is that people are putting a lot more than 100 quid into it. I just hope this isn't too dark. It looks very dark in the display. But anyway, I'm going to go upstairs now because this is going to be the last thing I do. It's 5:30 now, so only I could be out of here by about 6:15ish, something like that. I'll get this uploading on the drive home and get it up, and then I might go for a walk time. I haven't been for a walk yet, so as it cools down a bit, I say it was just over 30 upstairs when I came down here, so there's reasons for sitting out here. Apart from hopefully it looks slightly different, it's just a damn sight more comfortable than sitting up there. I have got one of those mobile AC units, but they do absolutely bugger all, apart from get on your nerves because of the noise they make. I have to have it on full cold, and even then it really doesn't do much. And of course then you have to have the windows shut to try and make it into a little box in there. It just does nothing. So today I've just had all the windows open, sort of took my shoes off and tried to stay as cool as possible. It is warm, but hey, I'd rather have a good summer than not have a summer to moan about. Oh, and the only other thing, on the way, there was all these lovely restaurants over at Putney. It's very, if you know the UK, it's very Putney. That's all I'll say. It's very boho. There was all sorts of lovely coffee shops, and I had lovely macchiato where I was waiting, blah, 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 all good. But on the way back, I decided I didn't want to stay there because of the parking situation. Didn't want to get a ticket, so I got back here. Thought, well, I'm going to go over to Carlo's, get my lunch. Carlo's was shut. Not just for lunch. I mean, I think they were shut. Clearly, they must go on holiday. It's a family-run business, so I'm guessing they go away for a week or something. But it was shut. I was absolutely beside myself. There's a cafe next door I went into, and it just seemed deeply. Well, it wasn't Carlo's. Another siren. I do apologise. And it was just not very appealing. So I just ended up going to local supermarket. A very disappointing lunch, but it filled a hole. If you're wondering, it was a couple of hard-boiled eggs, which I normally do myself, but I'd run out of hard-boiled eggs myself. A couple of hard-boiled eggs and BLT, but a shop bought BLT, meh. And watched the end of the Stephen Colbert show. It was really hard. What I wanted to do, I wanted a full episode of Stephen Colbert, but I couldn't find it anywhere. There's all these clips. I think it was quite well done. And I understand the tie of having McCartney sing the last song, all that business. I guess there's never going to be a good way to sign off, is there? It's never going to be perfect in everyone's eyes, but I guess it was okay. Right, I just hope this isn't too dark, because it looks really dark in the monitor, so wish me luck. And I'll chat with you tomorrow. Enjoy your summer's Saturday evening.